Hey, what's up, Silver Stackers? Thank you for tuning in. This is Silver Slayer, folks. I am announcing the winner of my 60,000 subscriber silver giveaway tomorrow. This is literally your last chance. I was going to do it today, but it's Friday. I like when I do stuff like that, a big event on Saturday. It's going to be a live premiere. We'll all hang out in the chat. It's going to be a great time. So, on that note, this is your last chance. All the prizes are in. The last prize that I wanted to give just arrived in the mail today. It's going to be an incredible time. If you want some silver shipped straight to your front doorstep, all you got to do is click one button and type 5 letters. Andy Scheckman, the CEO of Miles Franklin, is also donating to the winner. So it's going to be a huge prize. May the luckiest stacker win. The entry video is still in the description. Now, physical silver demand soars, digital silver demand plunges, and not just digital silver. Even in Peru, Mexico and Peru, those two countries alone accumulate nearly half of all global silver production. Over 40%, just those two countries alone. So if we see Peru down 11.2% in August, that is massive, especially as demand soars. Low supply, high demand pushes the price up. But what's going on? Over the last week, silver has been in a downward spiral. It's crazy. Times are crazy. And if you didn't see the podcast Andy Scheckman and I did a couple days ago on Wednesday, I highly recommend it. Because Andy was even saying, he's been in business for 4 decades, and things right now are crazier than ever. He can't even get his hands on silver. And that's the guy that just filled a 900,000 ounce order of Eagles. $50 million in gold and silver he filled in 2 days, and now he can barely even get his hands on it. By the way, if you wanted to purchase through him, just send an email to info@milesfranklin.com and let him know I sent you there. He'd love to hear it, but times are crazy. And when this type of stuff comes out, it's not just exaggeration. It's not a speculative or conspiracy or a myth or assuming. This is really happening. The numbers don't lie, folks. And most people that say it's not real, those are the ones that are speculating when we're just showing blatantly obvious data in front of everyone's faces saying, yo, we got to wake up. The silver shortage is real, and we got to do something now. We got to act now, because you're starting to see the after effects. You're starting to see, hey, none of these sites have eagles for the last, besides going back to like 2008, some random year. None of these sites have, XYZ coins anymore. What's happening? We're only able to get the scraps nowadays. What's going on? It's only going to get worse. And that's just from the investment sector, not even including the industrial sector. Times are getting worse. You got to get your hands on silver now before it is too late. So, an interesting dichotomy has developed in the silver market. What does it mean? Does it mean anything at all? We'll know soon enough, I guess. What an interesting year this has been. And the last 6 months have been positively brutal. While we await the eventual central bank pivot back toward easing, quantitative easing, Comex, digital gold and silver have been whacked, cracked, and shell-shacked. So, as we've seen multiple times in the past, this has led to a widening gap between the futures prices and the physical price. There's a lot going on behind the scenes in the commodity markets. For example, crude oil demand should be falling with the global economic slowdown. However, crude oil supply is also falling, save for the short-sighted U.S. policy of draining its strategic reserves. And have you noticed the dwindling stockpiles of copper, not only in London but in China, in part due to the unwinding of loans and credit where copper was used as collateral? But let's focus today on silver, as it's of the greatest interest to all of us precious metal stackers. Most know that the price of silver that's prominently featured in financial media is the price discovered on futures exchanges like the Comex. As with anything else, this price is often dependent upon supply and demand. In this case, supply and demand of the futures contracts themselves. See, what's interesting is that the current supply of futures contracts is at a 9-year low. 9-year low. On Comex, as of last Monday, the total open interest in silver was just 125,748 contracts. At 5,000 digital ounces per contract, this represents 628,748,000 ounces of silver. And this is the lowest total open interest level since November 11th, 2013. While 125,000, and that wasn't ounces, that was contracts, by the way. So while 125,748 contracts and, that was ounces actually. That was the digital ounces, yeah. So that's crazy. I was like, it's crazy to think that that's how many digital ounces are floating around out there. Because physically, no, right? Physically, there's no, I mean, the demand exceeded 1 billion ounces just this year alone, right? Demand is blowing through the roof. I know there's not that much physical floating around right now, especially as LBMA Comex vaults are near empty. So 628,740,000 digital ounces may seem like a lot. By any historical measure, it isn't. For example, as recently as June of last year, total open interest was near 200,000 contracts. Additionally, the all-time high in Comex silver open interest was reached on February 24th, 2020 at a whopping 244,705 contracts, and for 1,223,525,000 digital ounces. Stated another way, total interest in Comex digital silver has fallen by 48.6% since the all-time highs 2.5 years ago. Now again, maybe this is no big deal. Perhaps this simply reflects the notion that nobody cares or is interested in trading silver futures at present. But how do you square the declining interest in digital silver with what appears to be increasing interest in physical? And I'm not talking about simple retail demand here, even though dealer premiums for many popular investment options are now over $5 an ounce and sometimes approaching $10. Instead, check out the global vaults. Let's start in London, right? The LBMA and the Comex vaults are near empty. So where the LBMA is showing consistently declining inventories, right? They actually talked about it themselves, lbma.org. This is from Bullion. Breaking. Silver inventories held in the LBMA vaults in London fell a massive 4.93% during September, now at a new record low. LBMA silver holdings now total only 27,101 tons, and that's, let's say 871 million ounces, that's better, and have fallen every month for 10 months now. Global demand exceeded 1.12 billion ounces this year. Imagine in a couple of years, right? Imagine how many billions of ounces we'll need by the year 2025. Plus, most silver is getting thrown away. Production is cutting back, especially Peru, down 11%. I mean, numbers don't lie. Numbers don't lie. And then to say that there's that much silver digitally as well is just, it's hysterical. So, but of those 27,101 metric tons in the LBMA vaults, about 18,000 tons are the property of various silver ETFs. So as James Anderson points out, the entire LBMA float is now under 10,000 metric tons. Again, 10,000 metric tons may sound like a lot, but it's not. It's only about 320 million ounces. Note that 320 million ounces is almost exactly what the CME group alleges in the Comex vaults, and the Comex was never, ever supposed to be used as a physical delivery platform. It was designed as a New York futures exchange. Actual physical delivery was always supposed to remain in London. But wait a second. Maybe we should look at those Comex inventories too. There's a guy on Twitter who follows the daily vault levels very closely. Look at what he has noticed as of late. This is the guy. Comex silver vault dropped to under 312 million ounces, lowest level since May 29th, 2020. Open interest now equals 202% of all vaulted silver and 1,572% of registered. I mean, once you pull out all the recent delivery and physical demand together, you get a handy little chart below, also from that same Michael guy on Twitter. Here's the silver squeeze. So what do we have here? Could global physical commodity demand be driving a shortage and shortfall of the metal that underpins the digital price? Could we finally be seeing the first stages of the destruction of the digital derivative and fractional pricing scheme that has been held since 1975? Maybe. Indeed. Yes, maybe. And that's what I've been saying, right now it does look like there is a very strong possibility that the Comex could collapse, or the digital side of things, we'll say, could collapse. The facade could the corruption, the manipulation they're doing, this scheme of trying to keep down the physical price by putting almost a 1-to-1 ratio from the digital when there's nowhere near as much physical silver. Every ounce of silver you hold in your hand, your bare hand, 250 other people theoretically own that same ounce on the Comex. You're the only one that owns it, though, because you're the one that's holding it, right? So anyway, so keep an eye out on those digital and physical trends as we move through the fourth quarter, and do not let off the gas. Let's keep the silver squeeze going and do our part to drain physical metal from banks and their vaults. For only when this current pricing scheme collapses will we finally discover the true and accurate price of the physical metal. I thought that was a very good written article. Whether you agree with this silver squeeze or not, regardless, the whole point is that the numbers don't lie. We're in a very serious situation, and I think it's going to get exposed soon. I've been talking about the silver shortage for years on my channel now. When I first started, the first year or so, nobody believed me. Only a handful of my own fans, my own audience, believed that it was as real out as I was portraying it. How many articles I covered of people saying, probably talking about me directly, these YouTube guys don't know what they're talking about. And now look, right? Now look what's happening. I've been telling you guys about this, not you guys, because you're on my team. I've been telling them about this for years, that this is happening, and now finally everyone catches on, and now everyone's like, yeah, there's no more silver. It's like, you know how many videos I've been making over the last 2, 3 years about this situation and how it's getting worse and worse and worse? I mean, go back to my videos 2, 3 years ago. You're going to see videos titled, "We're running out of silver," right? You're going to see videos titled, "The silver shortage is coming." I've been making those types of videos for years now. It's just getting a lot more severe now, and it seems like now more than ever, and even Andy Scheckman agreed, that something big is about to happen. It's like every week something big, something new, comes out, and it's just like everything is starting to align. And when it does happen, it's going to be massive. It's going to catch us all off guard. Whether it's a global reset, whether it's the Comex collapsing, whether it's whatever it is, it could be anything. I mean, as Benjamin Franklin said, by failing to prepare, you are preparing to fail. You have to be ready. And it's sad that a lot of people don't even know what's going on, but at least we do. At least we do. And if you know what's going on and you still didn't take advantage of it, that's going to hurt way worse than someone who didn't even know. I mean, imagine the guys that knew about Bitcoin back when it was, 30 cents, and they still didn't buy it. I mean, we didn't know about it back then, so it doesn't really matter. But imagine knowing about it back then and you still didn't buy it when you had the option to. You know, people don't even have an option right now because they don't even know about the dollar. They think America's rich and wealthy. They think silver stacking is for coin collecting, or that anyone who says that that there's going to be a reset or new money is just crazy. Those people don't have an option. But you watching this video, you understand what's happening. You understand why it's so beneficial. And if you don't take advantage of it, even even after hearing this type of information, that's going to hurt the worst. I really don't think that's the case for any of you. I'm pretty sure all of us are on board of why it's so critical to be stacking silver. And and I do try to reach out to I try to make videos to reach that person who's never invested a single dollar in their entire life. I just set up my new office. I have a PC now. I have a huge monitor. I'm trying to make better and better videos, higher quality. I'm trying to branch out, doing the daily or the weekly podcast with Andy, talking about some bigger stuff that's even flowing over my head. I really recommend you go check out the interview we did on Wednesday. It was incredible what Andy could bring to the table. Um, but yeah, so anyways, I'm gonna wrap this video up here. Enough rambling. I got a lot of stuff to do. Got to set up for the giveaway. Got some big stuff happening. Make sure you stay tuned tomorrow. I don't know exactly what time the giveaway is going to be, but it's probably going to be around probably 2 p.m. to 2 to 5 p.m. Eastern Standard, in between there. So yeah, make sure you're tuned in. May the luckiest stacker win. It will be a premiered video, so it'll be live. We all get to hang out in the chat and talk together and stuff. It's going to be a great time. If you did want to purchase silver from Miles Franklin, highly beneficial, since they are still one of the only few authorized dealers that can purchase through the U.S. Mint. They can access silver, American-made silver, that nobody else can. Literally, the U.S. Mint banned, cut off everyone publicly. You cannot purchase from them. APMEX can't purchase from them, but Andy Scheckman can. Plus, just building a source with someone like that you get to watch him every week on my channel. He's a great guy. That's beneficial, much more beneficial than buying from just some random person that you don't know who's filling the order behind the screen. And I'm honored that I can offer you guys that business relationship. So yeah, just send an email to info@milesfranklin.com. Let them know Silver Slayer sent you. I'm going to wrap this video up here. The link to this article will be in the description. Let me know what you think about this. Things are getting crazy. Thanks for tuning in. This was Silver Slayer. I'll see you guys soon. Peace.